So basically, this album was made during the pandemic. There's a lot of like different emotions that come up. I think a lot of people during that time was the first time that you kind of stood still. So I also started therapy during that time and really started like looking at myself, you know, what kind of patterns was I having? What was I doing to keep myself in these like, you know, these like cycles of self torment or whatever I was going through? Because before the pandemic started, I had like amazing things happening. Like I was headlining festivals, but nothing was feeling like enough, you know? So I think that this experience really put everything in perspective. And I think the album begins with, you know, with Born to Win, which is really talking about just trusting what you're destined for. Because I think during that time I was wondering, would we ever see festival stages again? Like if crowds are banned and I deal in crowds, like my power is whether I can bring a large crowd. I was very confused about what my value would be like in the world, you know? So I think everything I write is to myself in the future. And I like write from my higher self to like, you know, get myself there through repetition. So Born to Win was really about, you know, claiming my power. There's a record called Babylon that's really about like the fear a lot of us were hearing. And I think like before you make a big change or you start working on yourself, you have to like hit that bottom and like kind of look to God, you know, for guidance and for direction. So Babylon is a record about, you know, just seeing the Maya and the illusion around me. And it's you close both eyes so you can see through one. So it's really about like going inward and, you know, really getting my third eye to see like what's going on. So as the album progresses, you know, it starts with these kind of like heavier themes, which people are used to hearing from me. But as it evolves, you know, the evolution I think a lot of people went through is the evolution of self-love and like finding yourself. So this is the first album that I have love songs on, which I didn't realize was actually a thing until I looked at my catalog and I was like, damn, I've been some aggressive warrior woman for like 7 years. Like I never let out one love song. Like I've made them. I just never released them. So, you know, you're going to start seeing, I think on the second half of the project, it kind of starts evolving into my more like sacred feminine side, you know, which was kind of my evolution. And it ends in a place, a record called Fearless, where, you know, kind of begins in this like very fear filled place where I didn't know where to go. And it ends in this like, you know, like this enormous pop record, you know, everyone hears it and they're like, this should be in Moana, which I'm like, okay. But I feel like going from rapping to like fully singing is also really, I think it shows where I'm going as an artist and kind of like grasping my musicality. So where I used to talk about duality and identity and how they were like one on each end, I think the album is called The Bridge because it's from West back to the East. It's from ancient to the future, and music is the bridge between us and God. And so like in creating this album, I was able to kind of integrate, you know, the two sides of my identity.